this is your captain speaking. My name is Burkholder. We've seen some turbulence last month, but I assure you we're going to get through it. So without any further ado, let's nosedive right in. Not nosedive. Let's dive right in.
Median home prices are in for this month. Median home prices are 0.3% lower than they were this time last year, but prices are increasing. How could that be? Now, I don't want to confuse you here. This is a negative number, but it's simply comparing our April median sales price right now to last April's median sales price. So it's 0.3% lower than it was in April of last year. But since February, and take a look at this, median sales prices have been increasing. Look, bottomed out in January and February. February median price was $342,000. March was $355,000. April is $369,000. So I don't want you to get confused. That negative 0.3 number is comparing to last year, but over the last few months, our median price has gone up, which is exactly what it does every single year. It bottoms out in anywhere between December and January, and then it starts to go up, and it tops out around right now. Every year you can see we top out around June, July. Last year we topped out in June. 2020 was a bit of an anomaly. All the business was kind of pushed back later in the year, so we see those prices a little bit higher in September. But in 2019, topped out in June. 2018, it topped out in May. So if you're looking to list your home, we're coming up on a period of time where median sales prices are going to decrease. So have that in mind if you're thinking about selling your home right now. I don't know if you've been following the terrible news this month, but Netflix has cracked down on their password sharing for households. And you know what's worse than that? Nothing. But what comes second is that mortgage interest rates are a little bit higher than they were last month, which is weird, right? Because our inflation numbers actually came back really good. But this is a great example of why this stuff is so hard to predict. The reason mortgage interest rates have gone up recently is because our US policymakers have been negotiating legislation which includes raising the debt ceiling, and they're cutting it close. This means that America would essentially default on its debt, which has never happened before, and the consequences of that are pretty tremendous and really unknown. And this has investors really scared, and they've been responding negatively in the market, which means interest rates go up. So when we're predicting things like interest rates, we just never know what unforeseen problems are gonna arise in our economy, in our country, or how investors are gonna respond to that. Luckily, in the past few days, they have reached an agreement on the debt ceiling. It still has a few steps to go, but it's cooled the tempers of investors, and interest rates have actually come down a little bit in the past few days. The other good thing is that we are still optimistic about our inflation numbers. Assuming those continue to come in lower and lower, we think that interest rates will continue downward. Again, we don't know what unforeseen problems will come up for the rest of the year, but barring any of that, if we're just talking about inflation, it's looking better and better each month. And just so you can see it right now, 30-year fixed mortgage rates are sitting around 6.9%. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but right now, the amount of homes we have for sale is about 7% less than the same time last year. So we have less homes for sale with relatively the same median sales price. And this inventory number is really what's supporting the prices right now. And in terms of new construction and home building, we continue to get reports that are saying building permits and housing starts are still significantly lower than what they were this time last year. So we're gonna be dealing with this inventory problem for the foreseeable future. Here's some of the takeaways. If you wanna list your home and you wanna get the highest price, I would do it as soon as possible, and ideally before, honestly, July 4th. If you're buying and you want to get the best price, the most inventory we'll have is going to be between that August and October date. And that's also when prices are making their way down. Come, November, December, January, prices are gonna be at their lowest, but there's gonna be a lot less homes for sale. And if you wanna see one of our listings, we have one coming soon in the Como Park neighborhood. You can check it out here, 911 Wheelock Parkway in St. Paul. Look at this place. This is literally half a block from Como Lake. It's a beautiful, beautiful home that's been really well taken care of. It's got hardwood floors, a big updated kitchen with an island in it. It's got a beautiful porch out back that's overlooking this little oasis, and it feels very, very open and private and very green right now. It's beautiful. It's awesome. If you want to have a showing or check it out, we'll have open houses this weekend, or you can just reach out to us. All right, people, that's all I have for you. If you need any help with buying or selling, please reach out. Otherwise, I'll see you at the open house this weekend. Cheers.